Hello everybody, I'm Lorenzo Marchessi and I'm here right at the beginning of this video we're about to watch to remind you to subscribe to my channel. It's very helpful if you do, and also please tell your friends, your family members, and share it if you can. Love to hear your comments and feedback, but just want to make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching and we'll see you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Geek Authority Show. I'm your host, Lorenzo Marchessi, and this is the show where I get to interview all kinds of people from all walks of life, mainly in the entertainment industry, actors, writers, directors, producers, cosplayers, as well as musicians and performers of all kinds. Today, I have a very, very special guest. She's on the East Coast, is that right?
I am, in Boston.
Anna, and please tell me how you pronounce your name properly.
Anna Guigui, G-U-I-G-U-I. My mom used to say, Gi as in guitar, but it's not Gi, it's Guigui.
Guigui, Anna Guigui. Thank you so much for doing this. You're an actress, you're a singer, you're a writer, you're a performer. I mean, I think she bakes cookies, she does it all. So tell us, I want some. So tell us exactly, where are you from? Are you a native New Yorker, Californian, Midwest?
So I was born in New York City. I'm the firstborn American in my family. My parents immigrated from Buenos Aires, Argentina in the 1950s to actually to Boston. And
wow.
Eventually ended up in New York City, and that's where I was born. And we moved around quite a bit because my father was a symphony orchestra conductor. So we went from Boston, he went to New York, and then Puerto Rico, and then from Puerto Rico to Vermont. And then
wow. So you've had music influence all your life.
Yes, yes. My mom was an opera singer, and my dad was a conductor and clarinetist.
Wow. Okay, so that's why you're so talented, because you were born and bred that way. So tell me, when did the bug for yourself get into you? What age did you start playing or singing or acting?
My brother and I grew up in that. I have an older brother, Martin. We both were just steeped in it from day one, surrounded by music. And my parents had us take piano lessons, violin lessons. I mean, every kind of lessons. And it was just part of our environment, you know. The aha moment, I mean, was always there. You know, it was just a part of who we were, part of our environment. The bit me moment happened when I went to see they're playing our song on Broadway with Lucy Arnaz and Robert Klein.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. And we went backstage and waited for a long time to get her signature autograph on my program and Lucy Arnaz. And
How old were you then? How old?
I say, okay, I was 11. And it was
Okay, that's okay.
very impacting. Well, because I think people will think, oh, wow, you know, she's 11. It was very impacting. And that was the moment I said, okay, this is what I want to do. I loved it. Everything had been about music up to there. And then acting and musicals and music and all those things together just seemed really fun.
Wow. So if you were to say, as growing up in your household, everybody was in the music world, or part of the music stuff. Did you learn yourself to play the instrument, the piano? Because I know you play piano.
We had a piano at the house, and we did take formal piano lessons. I was trained classically, and then I took viola and flute. My brother played violin from a very young age, and we both developed our ear very strongly, just playing a lot of stuff by ear, but also being trained formally. We got to read music, so we got both as we were growing up. And yeah, just being able to just be on the piano or be around the music all the time, is inspiring, and it's just a way of life, day to day.
Right. So would you say you've done more performing as a singer, songwriter, Or have you done musical theater? Have you done acting?
I've done a little bit of everything, but of course, growing up, just singing and playing was my thing. And playing piano and singing was a real combination for me that felt extremely connected. I had to kind of learn how to just be a singer in front of a band and not have that piano in front of me as a crutch.
Right.
Uh,
And so you do, obviously you do a lot of traveling. So do you call your home New York or LA or
I'm based out of Boston right now. I've been here since I moved here in 2014. I'm a voice professor at the Berklee College of Music and at the Longy School of Music of Bard College. So I teach singing. I'm a voice
okay.
professor.
So
Uh,
you're based in Boston.
I'm based in Boston, yes.
Wow. Because I loved, for those who don't know, she just did a one woman show with the Whitefire Theater here in Los Angeles, California. And it was a one woman show, and they've been doing some live streaming. And I assumed you came out here to do that, but you actually did that where you live in Boston?
I actually flew out to LA for several reasons. We had a long extended break between semesters, and I have family and friends in Los Angeles, so I opted to. I planned it ahead, and I knew that I would be up against the COVID, threats and the CDC guidelines. But I was very, very careful and to say I had a tremendously, wonderfully safe flight out there, and I quarantined as soon as I landed, and like I really like just did everything that I needed to do, and I'm safe and healthy. My mother passed away last year, and so in the Jewish faith, we do something called the unveiling of the headstone within the first year of the person's passing. And I really felt the need to have some closure with my grief, and we were very close. And I wanted to see my family. I hadn't seen them since my mom passed last year, so I that was the impetus initially. And then I had submitted. For the Whitefire Theater, and that's right down the street. So I'm in Los Angeles, so I thought I'll hit two birds with one stone, and I'm so glad I went. I can't even tell you, the unveiling was beautiful. I felt so much lighter and such a sense of groundedness and relief and
Wow.
peace, and
Very,
then
very cathartic for you
it was
for the
very cathartic. That's the word. Thank you for articulating that. And then I got to focus on the show and this creation, this thing that came out of me during pandemic quarantine is bizarre. Just couldn't stop writing.
Well, again, so sorry for your loss,
Thank
and
you so
obviously
much.
your reconciliation is going really well, and
Thank you.
obviously your mom did a good job because clearly you have some talent there. So,
You're quite.
um,
Thank you.
since you brought it up, I'm curious, how has, I mean, it's obvious for a lot of people, but from the entertainment standpoint, your perspective, how has the pandemic changed for you in terms of what you're doing and how you're doing it?
Well, it's changed everything. In a lot of respects, and then some of it is the same. As artists, we isolate on a regular basis and we practice at home and we write at home, and so a lot of us have commiserated and spoken about that, like, we're kind of used to doing this. The whole world kind of joined us, and got a taste of what we do, but of course this is an
Ha-
extreme.
has Zoom become like the way of life?
Zoom has become our theater. Thank goodness for Zoom. I mean, thank goodness the internet was devised in the '80s and that we have this. Otherwise, can you imagine what would we have done? We have
Exactly.
an outlet, thank goodness. So the teaching, I've converted everything to online curriculum. I actually have seen a lot of positives because of this. It's actually forced us to really come to terms with what we are good at, where our holes are. I think I've improved in my teaching skills and my abilities and in my pedagogy overall. And students have progressed tremendously because we have asynchronous and synchronous teaching. So we use video for part of the class, and then we watch them singing back, and they watch themselves, and something they didn't used to be able to do. So
A
it
different
brings
perspective. Yeah.
it's a very intimate setting, this, the medium. So it makes for a lot of detail orientation. And so then again, the performance I did was live in a theater with no audience for the solo show, but the director Rod Menzies and I just decided we would do like a Zoom emulation, which is how I captured the show initially. How
right.
I was inspired to write the show, but it was
And
been
from an audience perspective, it was great because it connects with. I mean, I'm watching you, and I'm like, it's like you're talking to me. I'm like that whole experience. Uh,
yes, we're
what you mentioned the teaching. What do you teach?
I'm a voice professor, so I teach singing and acting online, and I also teach other disciplines, music theory and ear training and such. But for now, it really became about the singing and the acting skills. So I'm converting all my curriculum, and it's been challenging because it really has doubled the hours that we put in as educators. I'm not sure that the world is aware
Oh yeah,
how
oh yeah.
much time it takes and energy and focus, and being on Zoom for
What's
10 to 12 hours a day is very consuming and exhausting here,
right?
so as much as we're all kind of trying to benefit from it, it is a very we get what's the term about zooming, getting zoomed out, or there's
I
a
don't
term,
know. I didn't know there was a term.
that we use, yes. So
Well, you know what? I think the one thing that this pandemic has actually done is made us all more adaptable and finding out how we can do what we love in a different way. And for myself, being a reviewer, a critic, I have no more theaters or movies to go to. So it's like, okay, let's talk to the entertainers and people like yourself and find out, what's going on and how it works. And gotten a lot of positive feedback. And I think once people see your show, they're going to be like, you know what? I want to be a singer or a songwriter. It's it's fun because your one woman show is basically talking about yourself, adapting to obviously the pandemic and the Zoom and all that, but at the same time, kind of like you know, one of the things you mentioned in your show is you have the freedom of you got an idea for a song, poof, jump on the piano and it's done. You
it's
couldn't do
immediate.
that before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the immediacy of the moment, and I think I'm I'm writing 3 shows right now. I have 2 in the pipeline, and the next one will come out in March. I'm just completely in the muse moment, and the muse is with me, so I feel very in the flow.
right,
And when else, like you said, when else would I have the opportunity to just here I am? I jump right on the piano, and the song comes out. So
right.
yeah,
And your show is very you come your persona is very down to earth and friendly, so it's easy to watch because sometimes I've seen one person shows. I want to say one woman, it's men too, where they kind of get really intense and it's like you're kind of like come sit down, enjoy my experience, and I'll share you my thoughts. And by the way,
thank
I
you,
do it to music, so it's fun.
thank you,
uh,
thank you. Yeah, that was
it's
the
fun.
intent.
So
Yes.
what would you say to I mean, first of all, what's the age range of your students that you teach?
At the college, it ranges probably from, we do summer classes also where we have teenagers, high school students, so can range from 13 through any age in the college. I have some students who are in their 40s, and then I also have private students who are adults, and I have also teenagers. So it ranges, it depends, and it seems also that because of pandemic, actually, I've attracted some more students than normal in terms of they went, well, I might as well take lessons. I've always wanted to do that. So this would be
Right.
the
And
time.
you're accessible. You become instantly accessible. So
Yeah. And globally, I have students internationally too, in China and Japan
really,
and yeah, and
wow.
Denmark. Yeah. Different countries. Yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm curious, how do they hear about you?
it's through networking of people who've heard about me, or I did a master class in China last year, and so the board gets around and people get your name, and then they reach out and they're curious, if they can take. And so, of course, with that, I'm adjusting to time zones, so it's 12 hours difference, and there's a lot that goes into that. But it's really fun. I mean, it's a global reach that we have right now, with the Zoom, and we've had internet teaching for many years. I mean, this is
Right.
not new per se, and Berkeley's been teaching online for many years and successfully, but I think because of uh, the pandemic, it's tripled their registration,
Lockdowns, all of
and
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody wants to go online and learn.
Yeah. It's funny. And now that we've spent, 10 months in lockdown, everybody's like, I need to get out of the house. And I'm like, wait till it's safe, people. Wait till it's
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, we gotta just wait it
don't
out. Just wait it out. Yeah,
don't
we're
be
gonna get there.
crazy.
Patience. Yeah.
Um, so what would you say is obviously you said you went to China and did a teaching out there, right?
Yes.
How was that experience? Did you know Chinese or was it a
I don't, and it's something that I would want to learn probably to be a little more accessible. But I had a translator and interpreter, and it's just they love American pop music and they don't have the pedagogy over there, and so they really really are interested and excited about it, and so it was I was very welcomed and treated very nicely, and it's just a whole new world. And the
Alan
most
Menken.
the most amazing thing was going to the Great Wall. I
Oh,
can't even
wow.
explain to you. My host took me to some beautiful sites, and it was just enlightening. I mean, I've traveled a lot my whole life. I've toured for many years, and I've seen a lot. Um, China is at the top. I mean, it is incredible country, and the history and the people. It's really amazing. So, highly recommend it once lockdown is over.
Yeah. Yeah. Considering our pandemic started there, we need to be a
Yeah,
little careful.
yeah.
Okay. Let's, you had sent me some images of yourself and
Yeah.
different photos. Let's talk about, let's see, I like this. Um, Now, I'm assuming this is like a photo shoot for headshots and things like that.
This
Uh,
was actually this was part of a photo shoot for a CD that was released a couple of years ago with a pianist, professor, and composer at Berkeley, Neil
ooh,
Olmsted, and he knocked on my studio door one day at Berkeley and was holding a piece of music and said, "Hi, this is for you." I said, "What? Who are you? What is happening?" And he said, "I wrote this song cycle, and someone recommended you." And so then we teamed up, and it's just been an amazing duo combination, a collaborative. And so this was part of that shoot that we wanted to do some photos together. This was
I think it's
this was in
cute.
my
That's adorable.
thank you. The heyday of my acting days when I was in Hollywood, and I ended up doing a lot of commercials, and I had a recurring role in General Hospital for years, and I did uh, off Broadway theater came out there too. I did Tony and Tina's Wedding. I did the resurgence of that. I was in the original cast off Broadway, and then they did an incarnation out in Los Angeles, so they cast me for that. But I ended up doing Sopranos because of that, and like a lot of
Wow.
things. Yeah, so this was like the heyday of my acting days. I did the Buddy Holly story, the national Broadway tour.
You
Um,
said you were in General Hospital too?
I was. There's a bunch of video clips on my website. You're welcome to see it, www.annagigi.net.
Okay.
I did it for about a year and a half or so. I had a recurring role. I was Penny, the waitress at Kelly's, and so I was like, "Did you hear that?" It was like that kind of role.
Okay. Very cool. Another
Yeah,
from the same shoot.
yeah, that was from the shoot from the Secrets of Ferns is the CD, by the way, the classical CD that I did with Neil.
Is it
And I
available
think
like
it
Amazon or
is
what?
available. Yes, it's Secrets of Ferns, and you can go to neilolmsted.com, NeilOlmsted. And I'm just also on Spotify. And yeah, it's Secrets of Ferns. It's a beautiful, it's a classical song cycle, but it has a lot of jazz infusion in it. It's really interesting. So I sing in different styles authentically, and so it was a great collaboration because it's a melange. It's sort of a combination of classical and jazz.
And I like this picture here. It's got kind of got a little 80s vibe to it.
Yes, it
Uh,
does. That denim jacket had a little fur underneath. That was also my Hollywood heydays. So yeah.
How long ago was that? Was that, I mean, you're talking like it's,
Well, I actually moved to LA in '99 from New York, and I was there for about 15 years. And I got my SAG-AFTRA card, and I had my Actors Equity card from New York, so I got in all the unions, and I got a lot of experience in Los Angeles that I wouldn't have had in New York. I kind of hit a ceiling in New York, and LA kind of opened up the doors, and I ended up touring. When I got to Los Angeles, I got my first tour with Christopher Cross, and I played
oh,
keyboards and sang with him for about 8.5 years. So like all these things happened when I hit LA. Um,
Crisscross, the sailing guy?
Christopher Cross, right, from Sailing, Ride Like the Wind, Arthur's Theme. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's still performing? I haven't heard anything.
Christopher, yes, was still performing until he actually got COVID. I send out a
Oh,
big shout out to Chris that he heals up quickly. He was actually paralyzed from the neck down from COVID, and now he's recuperating and he's in his home in Austin and being taken care of, and he's I think doing much better. I
wow.
send you a virtual hug, Christopher, if you see this. But
Wow.
yeah, he's still doing it. He's still recording and playing out.
Wow, this is the show where we were talking about earlier. Um,
Where do we go from here? A Pandemic Cabaret, written and performed by Anna Geek, directed by Rod Menzies, who is amazing. Rod Menzies is a theater professor and incredible director and actor, and so he was very happy to work with me, and I mutually. It's a mutual admiration society here.
yeah,
Um,
and it's so well written and so funny.
thank
And the
you.
songs, like I said, which we'll get a little sneak peek a little later.
Awesome. Yes, yes.
um,
I wrote
this
so
is a
many songs.
screenshot I did myself, and this is
Ah,
one of my favorite songs in your show. Is as I mentioned to you before, was Zoom Zoom, and because my life has turned into literally Zoom Zoom. So when I heard this, I'm like, oh my god, she wrote me a song.
to
Very cool.
Lorenzo. Zoom zoom.
Now,
To Lorenzo.
now this is the Whitefire Theater. The artistic director is Brian Rasmussen,
Yeah.
and right, am I right? And then they did all the background and everything, and
Well, actually, no. I commissioned a friend of mine, Frank Strasser, to design this sort of graphic design behind me. So it's the
oh,
backdrop, and we projected it onto
right,
the screen. I'm in the theater, and that is actually a piano casing that was provided by my friend Ryan Buter, who's of Dueling Pianos Land. We did Dueling Pianos for 20 years together, and it's a casing that you put a keyboard in. So it looks like a grand piano, but it's actually a keyboard that goes inside that case, and it has the
you
illusion.
sneaky little. Oh
It
wow,
gives you the
I
illusion
mean,
that it's a grand
I'm
piano.
like, she's on a grand piano, and I'm like, how cool is
Isn't
that?
that cool? That's cool. I'm so glad that
Okay,
you
and the
could.
reflection, I'm like, oh wow, she's a concert pianist. So.
Yeah. Yes. So that's like the skyline of Boston with the moon, because I have that brownout scene when the moonlight shines on the Mystic River, and I'm
Right,
what I see outside my window here where I live.
and that's a graphic, right? It's projected.
It's a graphic design by Frank Strasser. Frank Strasser is actually a painter, and he's incredible. By the way, I want to promote him. Frank Strasser, Strasser. He was based in Venice, California, for many, many years, and he moved to Atlanta, to Georgia, Georgia recently. I believe. I'm sorry, I think Georgia, but to the south. So he recently moved in the last year or two, and so we reached out and connected, and we on the phone devised what this was going to be like, and that's a kind of a Frank Strasser kind of a perspective. It's kind of
Very
cool.
cool, very
Yeah,
well done.
yeah,
It's always fun when you learn the behind the scenes because it's like
yes,
it comes off wonderful, and then you don't realize how much work goes into this.
yeah.
So,
Everything it's like I was saying this to a friend of mine. It's like the show's about an hour and a minute long, or hour and 2 minutes, and I wrote it over 10 months, right during pandemic, over 9 months, and then the songs I wrote 15 songs that just kind of flowed out of me, and it's hours of rehearsal. I rehearsed every single day. I was in LA. We did Zoom rehearsals. That was effective, actually. It was funny, right? 10,000 hours, right, is what goes into projects like this. So,
wow.
yeah,
Okay, there's I think that's the one on your card, right? The
it
promoting.
is. It is. It's the one that we used for the promo, the poster. And actually, a student of mine was so sweet. Rory, the shout out goes to you, Rory McFadden. She just got accepted to her master's degree at Berkeley.
Yeah.
Realize,
No,
yes.
where is that? Is that Boston or is that LA? Where is that?
This is actually on the outskirts of Boston. Yeah, the shop. This is
Okay.
actually, I think, behind Neil's house. Yeah.
I
So
can't tell. Are those mountains? What is that behind you?
it's just brush and some trees,
Okay.
and it was in the dead. Yeah, it was like in fall. Yeah, it was in the fall. Um,
Wow.
in Wayland, yeah, Massachusetts. Um, so my student helped me create this poster, and I was like, it's a pandemic cabaret. We should have a mask. So she put the graphics on and like made it really fun.
Wait, where is it? Right there. Yeah, with the little mask.
Yeah. Well, my other concern was that I'm saying it's a pandemic cabaret. I don't want people to think, oh, how depressing about the pandemic. What could be so exciting about the pandemic? So I said, if we do like the mask and put some fun things in it, it exudes a little bit of joy and sort of humor, right? Which is
Right.
what is a
And
lot of fun.
notice I use my favorite picture.
I like that. That's right behind. I'm right behind you everywhere you look.
Everywhere. Okay. So let's jump over to your website,
Oh,
um,
sure.
which oh look, there she is.
And
Love
look.
that picture.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. And that was in my opera days. I actually got my doctorate at USC Thornton School of Music, and that was my opera
So should we be calling you Dr. Anna?
You can if you like. Just know that I can't make you feel any better if you're sick.
Yes, you
But it's
can, because the music is
Dr.
fun
Music.
and the music is soothing and the music is good. So yes, you
I'm a healer. Yes. Okay. I
can.
like it. Call me doctor. Sure. Go ahead,
Yes.
doctor. Yeah.
Okay, so just walk us through it. Where should we go? What do we look at?
Um, if we go to the main page, the home page, and there's all kinds of stuff here between my acting, my music. I've done touring, but go to the main page. There's a Chris Collins interview there. I did a Chris Collins show online, a podcast a couple of weeks ago. There's a testimonial there of one of my friends who saw the show. If you click on the poster, that'll take you to everything that happened in terms of interviews and reviews and information about the show. So there you go. There's a Chris Collins show. It tells you well, tickets are done now, but how to get tickets. There's actually a Fractured Atlas page. I actually promoted the show, and there were some donors involved who helped support the cause. There's a press release there, talks about my background. Broadway World, also, there was an article that came out promoting. So Phil Sokoloff is my publicist. I want to give him a shout out because he's amazing, and he got my show out in LA.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Did you see my interview with Phil?
I did not.
I interviewed Phil. Check out my.
I need to see it. Was it fun?
It was awesome. I mean,
You have to say.
I'm gonna jump real quick just to show you. Whoops, if I can find the right button. There we go. This is the Geek Authority YouTube page, which is where you will be soon. There's a section called the Geek Authority Show, and if you click that, you'll see all the shows in that particular. I have 5 shows, a 6th coming, and I believe Phil is fairly recent. Phil, there he is. You didn't know? Uh-oh.
I have to see it. It's my homework. I love
I'll
it.
jump ahead and see if it'll.
So how long have you been doing this,
What is this?
Lorenzo?
How long?
Yeah.
I started when the pandemic started. I obviously couldn't do theater reviews, movie reviews. I was doing concert reviews, all kind of stuff, and it was gone.
Very cool.
Then I thought, okay, maybe end of April. It was kind of like I got the seed, and then by May I started actually interviewing people. I created 4 other shows. I'm a collector, a geek kind of thing, so the Geek Authority. So I did shows on toys and collectibles and games. I have an interview show called Talk About where family and friends, we just talk about subjects like Cobra Kai, the closing of Disneyland, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's been.
I watch Cobra Kai. That's so fun.
I love Cobra. Do you like it?
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's so fun. It's just I saw the original Karate Kid, reminiscing of all that. Yeah, this is wonderful. This is what we're talking about. It's like you're reinventing yourself. You're finding new ways. This is the whole. You're like you said, adapting is the key word. We need to adapt, and this is human evolution. The ones who adapt move forward. The ones who don't stay behind.
Right, and don't complain. Make it your own. Move forward, and I'm having fun. I mean, I hope you're having fun.
I know this is a blast, and the fact that you can connect with people is so much easier. I mean, honestly, so many of us were so busy. I don't want to be that busy.
Again, a little self-promoting here, but I just interviewed last week somebody in the UK, a couple weeks ago from New York, Manhattan area. So I'm like, I've connected to people that I could never connect. Or would never.
The reach, right? The extension, the reach that you have now is global, and people are home. This is what I'm saying is like we're not all running around and driving in traffic, and we're home. We can be found, of course, but I'm saying I feel like yes, the circumstances are extenuating, but it really forces you to hone down and who am I and why am I here?
And don't get me wrong at all. I mean, I also enjoy I miss the visceral experience of being in the stage. Like I would love to see you in front of me while you perform this stuff and laugh like with the reality of it, as well as theater, shows.
Of course. There's nothing like it. I mean, this is a flat, screen.
Right.
But
and no matter how big your screen is at home, Wonder Woman and James Bond still looks better on the 60-foot screen.
Oh, we
So,
love going to the movies. I mean, I'm a huge movie buff. I love having the experience, right? That's what theater is about, having the experience in the theater with all these
right.
people around you and you're all feeling the same thing. You know, you're all experiencing
Okay.
life together.
Let's get back to you. Anywhere on this site you want us to go?
You can hit on the videos if you like. There's so many things here. There's let's see what we got. So Margie Farmer is my webmaster. She was helping. So I sing in various styles, as I was pointing out. And there it is. There's a clip from What Hurts is from the Secret of Ferns song cycle with Neil Olmsted. So we did some capture in the studio of us recording the CD. There's a clip here of Winter Roses was my one of my doctorate recitals actually. Jake Hagee was the composer, and I
Do you
did
want us
a.
to look at something? Pick one. Well,
Did you click on things that you could hear the audio? Okay, did you click so that it's audio friendly? If you click on a video, so when
let's.
you share the screen, there's like these two boxes you check for audio and video share. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear the sound. So
Okay,
when you
there we go. Let's try
share
that.
screen, and
And
then there you go.
boom. Okay.
Yeah. Sure, let's go to, yeah, let's check out Secrets of Ferns. Let's see what hurts. Let's do a little bit of that, and let's go over to Winter Roses.
Maybe what heals should never
Wow.
heal. Like tender feet in thorn-filled
Wow.
dirt.
Okay, you can
Let's
sing.
go, let's go to Winter Roses. Let's go to Winter Roses. That's a chamber song cycle with a chamber group, 11 pieces, and Winter is composed by Jake Hagee, and it was directed by Jason Robert Brown, who was teaching acting at USC at the time. We're going to forward a little bit.
Move forward. Okay.
Sylvester was conducting. She was one of my coaches at USC.
You on the floor there? Oh, you
Yes,
are.
I am. I am singing to my parents' praise.
My edges are sere and unintentional as
Wow.
theirs. I am content to drift, to walk in
Okay.
Nice. So
I gotta ask this. When you watch yourself, what are you thinking? How do you feel about it?
it's fun. I just go, wow, that's so cool that I did that. I reflect back. I can put myself in that place. Actually, I remember it very well.
Well, some
I
people get critical of themselves. Oh, I
Oh,
could
I
have.
see. Well, I don't watch myself often, to be honest with you. With this piece that I did recently, the solo show, Pandemic Cabaret, you can't help but, you're on a Zoom, so I'm seeing myself all the time rehearsing and whatnot. But I don't usually watch myself, I have to say. I am hypercritical of my performances, of course. The Canciones Argentinas, I sing in different languages. My parents were from Argentina, so Spanish was my first language, and I stumbled upon this beautiful song cycle of Spanish songs, Argentinian art songs that I started digging up and sang
Is
a
that
few.
here?
If you go before that, excuse me, Canciones Argentinas. Here we go, Carlos Buchardo. There's a little snippet here. There's one,
This
oh,
one?
Guastavino. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. And then there's I haven't seen these in so long.
Let's move ahead.
That's one of my DMA recitals, doctorate recitals at USC, Thornton. Nice dress. That's Barbara Bochnet. She was my accompanist. It's really hard to play. She's
Vienen vagando el faldeo, feliz in dai susidiaco, vienen los dos en silencio, prendiditos de la mano.
okay, we can stop that. There's a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff to show you. I don't know where to begin.
Okay.
There's a
Um,
French song after that, Ucali. I also toured with I played with America, Andrew Gold, Christopher Cross. There's video clips of that stuff as well. Um,
Okay, I went to photos. Who's this over here?
That's Neil Olmsted. He's my duo partner for the classical piece for Secrets of Ferns. Below that is Jeannie Gagne. She and I started a workshop of vocal master classes together for cross genre singing. Yeah, if you go to the music, there's the God Box. That was my first one woman show that I did in 2009. It won an ADA award in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Um, yes, a lot of stuff here. I'm going a little walk down of my life. The
um,
music, yeah.
here's what I want to show the audience. Again, um, what was the inspiration for your one woman show?
The pandemic quarantine.
Yes.
Everything that happened to me during quarantine. I had all these personal experiences, as you saw in the show. Everything that happened, something would happen, my emotions would shift, and I would go to the piano, and I swear, the songs would just come out of me like from beginning to end. It was like these moments of just, what is that? It just would come through me, and then I would finesse some of the lyrics of the next few days, and I just started writing songs, and I was taking this writing class, creative rights workshop with Terry Silverman, who's been my writing teacher for over 20 years, and she teaches these online seminars. Now it's online, right? And I just started writing. Like we would meet once a week with a group of writers, and I'm like, I wrote another song. I don't know what's going on. She's like, by the time I wrote 4 or 5, she goes, I think you have like some kind of musical or something going on here, like something that you can put together. And I thought, oh, that's so interesting. So the songs came first, chicken
Okay.
and the egg. Songs came first,
Can
and
we
then
can we give them a little tease of one of my favorites from your show?
yeah, go for it. Do the Zoom song. Zoom
Yes.
song.
This is. We'll talk about it after. Here we go.
Yeah.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. How many hours can I zoom today? 10 or 12 or more. My eyes are popping out of my head. I can't see anymore. Zoom, zoom, zoom,
I could
zoom,
so relate.
zoom, zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. I'm working from home throughout the day. Online, it's no easy feat. Sometimes the internet's not okay. And so I repeat and repeat and repeat. Zoom, zoom, zoom,
breathe.
zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Every day is Groundhog Day at home.
That's so true.
I can't get off this ride. I spend the day inside. And when it all winds down, I'm all alone. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Quarantine just goes
Come on.
on and on. There is no end in sight. People are putting their crazy on, embracing the internet tight. Come on, zoom, zoom, sing along. Zoom, 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 zoom. One word twice. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Okay. I got to tell you, after I watched your show, Michael, my husband out here in California, came up to me behind me. He goes, "Why do you keep singing Zoom, 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 Zoom?" And I'm like, I got this song in my head. I'm like, it's one of those. It's fun. It's memorable. It's purposeful.
Thank
Makes me
you.
laugh.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest compliment when
It
you've got a
is.
song in your head and you can't get rid of it. It's like,
Lorenzo, it is the greatest compliment. I actually had friends email me the next few days after the show because the virtual stream was available for 48 hours after show start time. And they kept saying, I just can't get this song out of my head. And they're saying this song or that song. And I'm like, that's really cool. That's a really cool sign. And my nephew, we had a Q&A after the show, and there were like 40 people on the Q&A. We stayed for like an hour talking, everybody giving feedback. And my nephew, Noah, he's like, he's 7. He sang the whole first 2 lines by heart. That's a
very cool. Very
so,
cool.
So thank you so much. That is the greatest compliment. You were so
Yeah,
sweet.
like this morning I said to him, I said, I got a Zoom today interview with the artist who wrote this song.
And just to clarify, there's all different styles in the show. It's not just
Absolutely.
like, and I think you got a little picture of me being an opera singer, but I sing in all styles,
Right.
authentically pop, R&B, jazz, musical theater, everything. So um, this show covers the gamut of styles. I mean, right? From blues, I'm like, what? The Smokers
Yeah.
Blues? That was
Was it Carol King you wanted to
Carole
be?
King was my inspiration, yes, when I was 11 for sure. But that, inspired my childhood song "Playing in the Dirt," and
Right.
then, uh,
And some are a little poignant, little emotional there.
yeah, they are very poignant, yes, and
Yeah.
of course, trying to create the narration in between, letting the songs lead and not be redundant in the narration, and not having the
Now,
story.
this particular show will air a little later. So people who might want to see this, is there a place to go watch it now?
So for right now, I'm gonna figure something out that I could share the show on some platform, perhaps with Vimeo. Right now, it's not available broadly, but because I think I want to do the show again, and I want to keep
Right.
my audience interested. But
Right.
I'm thinking about recording an album from here in my home. I got my whole setup going on with microphones behind the piano, and like I think I'm gonna record like a comedy album, like of the whole
Right.
show. So that I'll make it available on audio. I think that would be really cool.
Absolutely. And let me know. I can put it in the link below this video and people can.
Fantastic, fantastic. So just keep in touch with annagigi.net and, stay curious with me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook and I'll make announcements about what's next. But my next show is coming up in March and then I'll have another one after that. So there'll be a trilogy of shows of Anna Gigi shows. You won't get enough of me.
Absolutely. And make sure your web person shares this video when it goes live.
I will. You're so
This is too
kind.
much fun. Okay.
This has been so fun.
I do ask this of every guest that I have. And so somebody watching, this show today, listening to you, watching your amazing performances, and is considering, can I maybe be a professional singer or songwriter, or should I try this? What advice do you give to these people?
Everybody has a voice. This is something that we need to acknowledge. Everyone has a voice and everybody has a journey and a story. First of all, the solo play genre to me is, and that's what I want to share the article with you that you'll post on your site, is that wherever there are human beings, there's creativity, and we each have a story we need to tell, and we all deserve to be acknowledged for who we are and for our stories, and we need to be heard. So you need to tell your story, and that's what solo play writing does. That's what solo play platform does. Um, as far as excuse me, as far as singing, some people. Yes, there are some tone deaf people. That's true. It happens. But it doesn't mean you can't sing. And you need to express yourself, especially right now. I mean, who's around to hear you, right? Except whoever's in your space with you. But it is really, really viable to use your voice and to be heard, and not be ashamed or embarrassed. And we're not all Aretha Franklin. We are ourselves. And what I try to do with my students is to try to get them to sing with their voice, not to imitate or emulate someone, but to have their voice come out. So that's what
Wow.
my
So what if somebody wants to write songs but doesn't necessarily want to sing? What would you suggest?
You can collaborate with people. It's really easy to get to. There's a lot of platforms that you can connect with others who write lyrics. Other people write music. Other people perform them. You can, record little demos with people who sing. You can pay someone $100 to sing on your demo. There's so many ways to do this, and especially during pandemic, everyone's at home. So it's a perfect time.
Is this a Google search kind of thing?
Google search, sure. You could do, there's all kinds of probably blogs and sites on Facebook that you could tap into for songwriting circles.
Okay.
And also all these colleges have songwriting programs. You could take songwriting classes. I know Berkeley offers songwriting classes, adult classes, or
Right. And everything's done online anyway, so
everything's online. So this is the opportunity to learn. Like, just take it on. If you've always wanted to try to write a song, do it. And connect with others who do it. I say go for it.
Right. And I think sometimes the talent, you find talent sometimes you didn't know you had. And
Yes. Yes.
and
writing.
if you can make it marketable, hey,
Yeah.
even
it's not,
better.
It's not the goal. For me, it's the process. My dad always said, enjoy the process, because once you get there, you're there. So,
Right.
And collaborating is super fun, and then you get to meet some cool people and get to know them very well, and like in a different way than you normally would. Being creative is the key during pandemic. That's been my savior. As I said in the show, music saved my life during the
Wow.
pandemic.
Wow. And you had some pretty good parents there too, I think.
Thank you so much. They did imbue in me some really good values and morals and ethics and a nice moral compass. So I'm very grateful to my parents, and I miss
Absolutely.
them
They did
so
good.
much.
They did good. So any
So
any final words and final words to the audience out there you might want to depart with?
final words. Well, today is a very historic day, and it's just a very important moment it's the beginning of new things for us. Every day is a new beginning. So keep your spirits up.
What she's referring to is we're actually recording this on the day of Joe Biden's inauguration as the new president. So, because they're going to see this later. So they're going to be like, what you talking about?
It's the day of reckoning. Today is a day of
Hope,
beginnings, new beginnings and
future,
hope,
science,
future, and
reality.
of everything, all the possibilities that are out there, and keep positive, because this is temporary, and life is temporary. So make the best of every moment. Every moment is precious. As I said in the show, every moment is precious, even when you're just sitting at home watching Netflix. You have to value every moment and value the people that are around you, that love you and that you love. This is the time.
And make sure you connect with people, even if it's on Zoom, 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 Zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
See, you're going to
Please.
put that in my head today. I'm going to walk around all day singing it, and my husband's going to chop my ears off. So anyway, thank you so much, Anna. Check out her website. Her connections links will be below. Any comments or questions, put them there. If I can't answer them, I'll forward them to Anna, and she can contact you directly. This has been so much fun. For those of you who haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's the Geek Authority. There's a little button you hit to subscribe. Another button for the bell. That'll let you know when I drop a video, and you can watch it whenever you have time. Hopefully all the time. No, just kidding. But check out my other shows. I have, like I mentioned earlier, the Talk About show. We talk about different subjects. Family and friends get together. I have the the Geek Authority's Mysterious Chamber of Collectibles, where I go under my bed in my closet and pull out stuff I've been collecting for years. And there's also my unboxing show, where I open up stuff that I get sent to me that's either new, it is brand new to me and you, and we get to see it for the first time. My reactions are honest. And then, of course, there's this Geek Authority show where I get to talk to wonderful people like Anna, who just make my day and make my week and produce wonderful shows. And my God, listen to her voice. She's amazing.
Lorenzo,
anyway, Anna.
I had so much fun. Thank you for making this so enjoyable and for bringing some joy into my day as well. And keep in mind, where do we go from here? Nowhere but up, as I say.
Absolutely. Where do we go from here? And when she's not being cute and adorable. Anyway, okay, so let's say bye to everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.